Welcome to the PSP postgame show. I'm Eli Perlman-Storch. I'm standing in for Mike Servetio by myself tonight. He missed a wild game, 3-3. We finished in a back-and-forth end-to-end match where two bottom-dwelling teams in MLS both fielded sides that featured three or four reserve players as players were either injured or rested on the night. For the Union, Maurice Edu played through the partial groin injury that he suffered in the Open or before the Open Cup game. He was not in the lineup tonight. CJ Sapong was rested with Fernando Aristeguieta getting the start. Warren Craval also made his Union debut from the opening whistle after having a brief substitute appearance in the past match. So Chicago was the dominant side in the first 10 minutes of both halves, and the Union, while they didn't start slowly, gave up the early chances with both Ray Gaddis and Fabinho being at fault in terms of being overly aggressive and then allowing players to get inside them on the finish. It was Kennedy Igboananike in the 8th minute, and then in the 54th minute, again, it's Patrick Nyarko who gets in behind to finish. So with the Union pushing and pushing and pushing, trying to find a winner, Sean Johnson stands out as the man of the match on the night, makes a first and then a second game-changing save, and then late in the match, I believe it was the 86th minute, denies Brian Carroll from inside the box before Sebastian Letou on the doorstep can't poke it home. And it looked like it was going to be one of those nights where 2-2 was the end result and both sides would accept the draw until again Maidana finds Letou completing his hat trick of assists to put him in the league lead in terms of assists for MLS. Letou has the chance, cuts inside onto his right foot, and on a more difficult finish than the one he had just spurned, he puts it past Sean Johnson into the far corner. As PPL explodes, obviously the expectation is that's the end of the match. The Union go on to win, but with some questionable calls, Chicago comes back down, the most questionable being Jason Johnson, who looked clearly to have taken the ball down with his hand. Assistant referee allows play to continue, and the Union can't track the runners. First Harry Shipp to the end line, then Mike McGee to the end line, cutting it back inside for Igboananike, who wraps up the game 3-3, and as Jim Curtin said in his post-game press conference, a result that really helps neither side as they remain bottom of the table with a point each. It was an interesting night for the Union. After failing to score on a corner kick for quite a long time, Fernando Aristeguieta gets to the near post to equalize in the 21st minute, something he hasn't done, which is to say score in quite a long time between missed opportunities and injury. But it was good to see him back on the score sheet, and he was very lively despite going on to miss a few decent chances. A deflected Eric Ayu cross that he couldn't quite control and headed over the bar, a chance that he shot pretty well wide and just didn't have his shooting boots on after he scored the goal. So for the Union, it's hard to take too many positives from a match in which they should have collected all 3 points. Obviously, 3 goals at home should result in a win, and Jim Curtin said as much. But whether it was refereeing mistakes, it was a Union team that still dropped very deep and allowed Chicago to come back at them after conceding what looked like it was going to be the match winner. And in the end, Union are forced to settle with the draw. And we'll wrap it up here. 3-3. Union are forced to settle for a draw as they really needed 3 points to continue to chase that last playoff spot that slips a little further and further out of reach with each match that passes without a win. So for Eli Perlman-Storch, this is Philly Soccer Page. Thank you very much. I said that backwards. For Philly Soccer Page, this is Eli Perlman-Storch. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.